Hi everybody, and welcome back to the studio. It's the first episode of season 1, so we're going to start painting. Before I get started, I want to tell you a little bit about what I have. So I have a canvas that's already been prepared with liquid white. That's just a mixture of linseed oil and titanium white. And on my palette, I have phthalo blue, Prussian blue, lamp black, Van Dyke brown, burnt umber, alizarin crimson, sap green, cadmium yellow, bright red, and titanium white. Those colors are going to show up for you at the bottom of your screen in the same order I have them on the palette. And what I thought we would paint today is we would just do kind of a little summer mountain scene. So I'm just going to go into some phthalo blue, and I'm just going to start doing a little bit of an X stroke on the canvas. Starting from the top and working down. And the titanium white is just going to start absorbing all that color. And so it's going to get lighter and lighter as you move down. And then I'm just going to blend it all together using that same brush. And in this painting, there's going to be a little bit of water, so I'm just going to tap into a little bit of sap green back into that phthalo blue. And I'm going to start from the bottom, and I'm going to go towards the middle. Just like that. And then on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. And with a clean brush, I'm just going to really start to blend that all together. But I'm going to leave these white spots alone. Those are where clouds are going to be. Using this X stroke is going to leave a lot of extra motion in your painting, which is going to be a good thing. Bring it right down to the horizon. And then just blend down here. We're just going to make our horizontal strokes. Just like that. It's always a good idea when you're doing a painting to add water. Even if you don't think your painting is going to have water in it, it's really easy to put the water in at the beginning and then not use it and go over with grass. But it's really hard to put water in after. Just a little bit more. Next, I'm going to take a little fan brush and just some of the titanium white, just to thin it a tiny little bit. And I'm just going to kind of scribble where the tops of those blank spots are, and that's going to be my clouds. And just sort of let your fan brush do the work for you, and don't think too much. Clouds are just, they do whatever. So you don't have to think too much whenever you're painting a cloud. In fact, it's almost a bad thing to paint too much when doing it. And then finally, we're just going to take some of that phthalo blue, some of the alizarin crimson, and just a little bit more of the white. And just try to get to a nice lavender color, something like that. And we're going to do the bottom of the cloud. So I'm going to imagine that there's a sun somewhere around here. So that means at the bottom of this cloud is going to be a shadow. And I'm just sort of scribbling it in. And over here, if our sun's here, it'll be the bottom of this cloud. Something like that. But here, the bottom of the cloud is going to get a lot of light. So we're going to actually start doing the top of it. And add little streaks too. And finally, I'm just going to start blending that purple and the white to sort of make them go together. Make it really soft and airy. Okay, these are clouds. They should be soft and airy. They are soft and airy. You can make it as light or as dark as you want. The more you work it, the lighter it gets. And finally over here. Something like that. That's really nice. Beat off a little of the excess. And just really gently, we're going to just sort of fluff up the clouds. Just fluff them up. You'll start picking up little wisps of air. That's what you're supposed to do. You'll see, we'll take care of them. And then just really gently cut off those wisps. Blend it, set it into the background. Wisp it up too. Cut it off. Alright. That's a really easy way to get put together a mountain. You see, I probably used my clothes to clean off my things. These are painter's clothes. I bought them to get them dirty. If you don't want to get your clothes dirty, you can use paper towel. But let's paint a mountain. So I'm going to cut some phthalo blue, some Prussian blue, lamp black, maybe some Van Dyke brown, and maybe quite a bit of the alizarin crimson. And I'm just going to sort of work that together on the palette. Pull it out straight like that. And just a small cut. And it's going to be a little bit of paint in your knife for making mountains. I'm actually going to add some white to a little bit of this, because I'm going to do a couple layers of mountains. And the ones that are furthest away are going to be lighter in color. So that's a good trick. Make your paint first, mix it up first, and then add white to it. Okay. Let's cut it off. This mountain's going to be kind of far away. And I'm just only really bothering with the top part of this mountain. The bottom part is all going to be cut off anyway. We're going to remove a lot of this paint. But only focusing on the bottom of the mountain. And try not to make your mountains into triangles. Think about rocks. Rocks are really just little mountains, right? lot of people are familiar with rocks. So maybe just paint a rock. Paint a rock and then call it a mountain. Cut off any of the excess paint. That'll make the next layer easy to stick on. You can hear it scraping. Next, I'm going to take a brush. This is just a 1-inch brush. I'm going to start pulling the paint. Pulling it the way I think that the mountain goes. Something like that. Clean off the knife. And we're just going to add a little bit of snow to that mountain. So take the white, pull it up flat. If you get other little paints in there from before, that's a good thing. Like, that's going to make your mountain have color. And just be really gentle at this point. The most important thing is to be gentle when you're adding the snow to the mountain. If you do it, if you're gentle enough, you're going to get all these little holes in the paint, and that helps it look rocky and just mountainous, and that's what you really want. And I always said, if I can be gentle, I can be gentle, anybody. I used to be really into bodybuilding and weightlifting, pretty strong guy, and even when I go to the dentist, they tell me you gotta brush your teeth more gently, you're too strong, they say. So painting's been good for me to learn how to be gentle. A little bit more here. You know, they used to tell me I had to brush my teeth like this. Be really gentle when I did it. So learning how to paint can help you be a gentler, calmer person, which is good. And if I can do it, you can. Alright, that's the first layer of mountains done. Let's take that first color we had, mix in some of that darker color we had, and we're just going to go a little bit darker. And if things are farther away from you, they tend to be lighter in color, and when things are near you, they'll tend to be darker. So far things are light, close things are dark, usually, but not always. I'm just doing anything, there's no plan here. You can always change your mind with these paintings. This wet on wet painting technique is really good for helping people become creative. Using and exercising their imagination, they can see things that aren't there yet. And if you want to, you can just make them there, just because you decided that. Here's a plateau. Not all mountains are pointy on top, some of them have plateaus. And just scrape it all off again. Leave the top part alone. And then pull it. This one, pull like that. It might be hard to see on the camera, but you can see paint, the way the paint is going. So this is a great chance to lay out your mountain plan the whole thing out before you put the snow on. Something like that. And this bottom stuff doesn't matter. Just bring it down into nothing. That looks good to me. I'm going to go back into my white. Maybe this time, tiny little bit of crimson in there. Pull it up flat. And just start highlighting again. Really gentle. Be a gentleman or a gentlewoman, gentle person on this earth. You know, not going to hurt anybody, not going to do anything bad. Just a really sort of great way to spend your day painting. The show is called Painting on the Patio. I should probably mention this before you guys think I'm crazy. It's called Painting on the Patio because when I started doing this, I was actually painting on my patio at my old apartment. And, you know, now I have a whole garage that I can set up an art studio in. Now, next thing we're going to do, I want to add one more layer of mountains. But I want to add some trees here. So we always go from farther to closer. So I'm just going to take some of the dark mountain color and a fan brush. I'm just going to add some sap green to that color. So all my dark colors and just a hint of sap green. And I'm just going to do some really, really tiny push downs to get some trees. Really tiny. Really tiny. Kind of like that. Maybe a little higher, but maybe I just made one distinct tree. That always helps people to understand that these are trees. Actually, that was pretty fun. Let's do another one. Just pushing down. Oh shoot, I guess I think I'm gonna grow this little area a little bit. If it's working well, you can go for it and do it. Be flexible. I always believe sort of kites fly on strings. And if it's working and it's going well, we can do it. Now, we can reflect these into the water. So we're gonna go here, the bottom of that one, and we're gonna just push up. And they don't have to be perfect mirrors. The water is not a perfect mirror. It's not perfectly flat. It's got waves and things like that. So your reflections do not have to be perfect. Not at all. That's why painting landscapes can be so fun, because nothing has to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect, and that can be really good de-stress. You know, you go to work and everything you do at work has to be perfect. It's really, really important. But when you're out painting, especially landscape, it doesn't have to be perfect. So push up, make some grass here. Okay. And this is how we make it into a reflection. Take a clean brush, has to be clean. Just really gently pull it down. And in the same way you did your water, just gently across, just like that. And then add a little water line. Just cut off a little bit of waters, a little bit of white paint. It is water now. And just sort of cut into the painting. And that'll just sort of help us understand where the water begins and where the water ends. Okay. Now, let's go back to making that mountain that I was talking about. The real dark one. So, same thing, take that dark color that we made with Prussian blue and black and brown and red. And where is he? He's here somewhere. Maybe he's really big. Don't be afraid to go over things. Don't be afraid to change things. But always be on the lookout for stuff that actually is really nice. And make sure you kind of leave those around. Leave those around for people to see. This is sort of an opportunistic painting in that nothing's really planned. Maybe this is sort of slopes down. Nothing's really planned in this painting, but when something nice happens, it's really good to just know to leave well enough alone. I'm just sort of scraping all the dark. Oh, I just had a great idea. This was not what I was going to do today, but we're going to do it. Take that same brush that we were using to pull down those first mountains, and let's just pull it. I'm going to pull these nearly straight down. Lay out your mountain. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to reflect a mountain. We've never done this before, but it's pretty easy. Remember, before you do this, it does not have to be a perfect mirror. I'm just going to generally try to plot out how this mountain looks. Obviously from here it's sort of going up like that. I need to make more dark. More dark. And it's gonna basically come down and meet this line. This is usually easier to do, I guess, if you're not doing a painting show. And something like that. Of course, if you really want to do it the easy way, just take your canvas, pick it up, and paint the exact same mountain again. That's another choice. That brush. And follow similar angles to what you did up here. I did mine mostly vertically. I think that'd make painting life easier. Does not have to be perfect here at the bottom either. Nice line would be good though. Some things there. Try to take off as much excess paint as you can at this point. It would be really important. Fix that line up just a little bit. Now, a lot of the time when we do a reflection, we pull down. But in this case, there's a lot of paint there. So I'm going to pull up. Like that. And I might even beat my brush off just a little bit each time. Because it's dark paint too. Yeah, each stroke really beat the brush. And just sort of side. Anything you don't like is very easy to cover up. Got some trees in there. My line gets closer, so we'll do some down strokes. And they'll be bigger too. Anything we didn't like, we just covered up our trees. Anything, especially if it was difficult and it didn't look well, we can always just use our trees. And like right there, we got a little paint where we didn't want it. Well, now there's a tree. And have a few distinct ones as well. One here. And push up this time. And boom, push up. Someone tells you to get more exercise, you can say, look, I'm doing push-ups. do one more. One more big tree right there. We won't bother, I guess, with highlighting that mountain. Maybe I may put one highlight on it. But so far, I'm liking the darkness. Okay. Let's highlight those trees though. So to highlight tree, just go into a little bit of cadmium yellow with the same dirty brush. Just like that. And do something very similar to how you made the tree in the first place. Just push down. And add a little bit into the water, of course. You're free to do what you like. Using just the corner of the brush. Grass. Reflect it a little bit with water, maybe. Something like that. And then let's very carefully reflect those. Let's clean our brush. Just a cheap clean. We can use the thinner if we want. And pull the trees down. And then just a little bit. Just a little bit. The same waterline that we always had. Here. Just to help us know where things are. And last thing I think we might do is we might just add one tree thing somewhere there. So for that, I'm going to go into our dark green color. And I think, where is this? I know it's going to be at least here. Start off with what you know, go into what you don't know later. Maybe a small tree, island, maybe just here. Just pushing up. And you know, I was hoping for maybe a tree. Yeah, let's do it. This is when I get into trouble doing big trees. We'll do a big tree sort of up here. Just push out. Make some nice shapes. That's sort of doing a good job explaining the painting. Don't be worried if you go over something. There we go. Something like that. And now we have to add the trunk branches. So that's just going to be Van Dyke Brown and burnt umber. Mix it together. add some branches and sticks in there. There's probably lots of trees in there, but probably not just one. So don't just do one tree, there's lots in there. You can add texture by piling up the paint, cutting it. That's one of the nicest things about oil painting is the texture you can get. You can't get texture like that, I don't think so, with acrylics or other kinds of paint. I don't think you can do it. Certainly not this easy, I don't think. Take a liner brush, a little bit of paint thinner, go into that color that we just had. Thin it out to watery, just make it watery. Add extra branches. Anything we don't like, we can always get rid of. Remember, some branches always stick out further past the leaves. Nature doesn't follow artistic rules. Okay. Anything you like gets there. But add what you can, add what you want to. This is your tree, this is what you like. If you want to paint a tree that's different than the one I'm painting, then that's something you're more than welcome to do. Painting should just be like anything that you do. It should just be a somewhat selfish exercise, something that makes you happy. Also add little ones stick up. But make sure it's thin paint. If it's too thick, it won't work. Sticky up things. I just want to add a little bit more texture in that tree. I really like adding texture. When it's done, you can come right up and touch it. But not only that, it really adds one second. That's top. But you can add texture to your tree. Just like that. And finally, highlight it, go into some cad yellow, sap green, maybe a little bit of bright red, helps dull it down, and then just pick and choose. Not every part of the tree needs some highlight. Leave some dark spots in the tree. branches show through. And that's what's going to give your tree depth and make it look a lot better than maybe somebody else's tree. More grass. Mix it up. Sometimes you use more yellow, sometimes you use less. Sometimes you put more red in there. Just really softly just push up. Let the brush bend. Alright. The way we finish this is the same way we finish all our paintings. We're just going to do our signature. So take whatever color you want. I always use bright red. Thin it down with brush thinner. And sign your name. For me, this is always the hardest part of painting. Signing my name. So that means I'm done. I have to wait to paint it again for another week. And yeah, I have to say goodbye. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day. And thank you for painting with me. Bye. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. It really helps the studio grow and helps me make these videos for you guys. Thank you so much for your